Hi guys, it's Raven Scry. Today I want to talk about divination, symbols, and the connection between all things. Before we start, please support the channel and give a like and subscribe. Also, readings are closing next week, so if you'd like one, please get in touch via the About page of the channel ASAP. So as I've been travelling, I've been listening to some audiobooks about many different things, but the one that I recently finished listening to is a book called Sand Talk by a man called Tyson Yunkaporta. Now, Tyson is of Aboriginal heritage, and he shares some of their ancient ways and wisdoms through the connection of all things. Now, there's also quite a few mentions of cryptocurrency and decentralization, which I found to be quite a surprise that it just kept popping up in this book. And the timing of when I listened to this was so aligned with my spirit communications at the time, and it just had such a synchronicity when I found this audiobook and started listening, and I was also near Alice Springs at the time. Anyway, it was an interesting book, and if you're interested, I'll pop a link down to Audible. If you'd like to have a listen, check it out too. So it got me thinking and feeling into the connection between all things, between the natural cycles and seasons, between symbols and memories, and the way that spirit is in constant communication with us. And no matter wherever we are or whatever we are doing, all we have to do is listen. And the more you listen and notice the small things, the closer spirit comes and the more spirit communicates in this way. So normally people do readings and divination practices with, whatever tool they may use, but it goes much further than this. We are all in a living reading all of the time, and if we're open, we can receive wisdom, guidance, and knowledge. Spirit uses many ways of communicating to us, and we can also direct and ask Spirit to bring us information through different ways if we want to hear it, if we want to see it, if we want to feel it, putting out strong intention of how you want to receive. So Spirit often uses archetypal images to communicate, stories and fairy tales. They also use your bank of experience and knowledge that you have gathered over your lifetime. It's like they can pick or choose anything that you've experienced or know and remind you of that experience. And in that moment, you can have an instant depth of knowing about something. It feels so powerful and magical to me that we are living inside a constant, evolving, connected communication between all things. Wow, that was a long sentence. So I had an interesting connection from Spirit today. I was on a walk, walking along a path quite literally, and I came across a dead rabbit, and it had its stomach all pulled out, all its organs lying over the path, and I stopped and just felt like it had a strong message for me. And it got me thinking of rabbit as a symbol, often thought of as, representative of prosperity, of fertility, of good luck, and I'm sure a lot more. But it also connected me to my experiences in regards to rabbits in my life. And interestingly, thinking about deaths of family pets, and also the experiences of saving rabbits from when they've been hit by people on the road and left. And so there's this kind of strong feeling of death, a theme that comes in, and letting go to me here, and also the endings of cycles and cycles of time is how it spoke to me. But then it got me thinking about the connectedness to the situation I found this rabbit in, with its stomach missing, and that here in Australia they are considered a pest and vermin that many wish death upon anyway. And it spoke to me about the concept of things that don't belong in their so-called environment. And I can certainly understand, animals not being where they're supposed to be and ruining the ecosystems around them. It's terrible. But if you expand it out further, nothing happens by accident and nothing is misplaced. Everything is where it's supposed to be. So such a graphic visual also reminded me of an ancient form of Roman divination called haruspices, I think it's pronounced, where they divined from animals' innards, particularly the liver and the gallbladder. And I know that sounds quite gruesome, but it just had this ancient archetypal history in the way it felt as I observed it. So I feel like there were so many understandings all coming in from different angles about this rabbit, and so many ways to understand the signs that were given. And often it's the simplest way that rings to be the truest. Now, interpretation would be very different for whoever's path this rabbit crossed. And although there's broad archetypes that present, it can be so much deeper, and everyone's unique experience and understandings of the death of a rabbit can be so different. Anyway, lots of thoughts going through my mind and ideas of the way things connect today. The message is that everything is connected, and the more we listen, the more Spirit will communicate to you no matter where or whatever your experience is. They're right there. So please share something significant that stood out in your day. I'll see you again soon. Raven Scry signing off.